Welcome to the Property Code. I'm your host, Nick. In today's episode, we'll explore how investors in 2025 can tackle paying off an investment property early, blending time-tested strategies with fresh insights from evolving market dynamics. Last autumn, David found himself at his home office desk, reviewing the latest mortgage statements while sipping his morning coffee. He had purchased a modest duplex 2 years earlier in a suburban neighborhood that grew popular as remote work became permanent. Back then, interest rates floated around 3%. Now in 2025, rates hovered near 5.5%, and David worried that rising borrowing costs would erode his cash flow. Rather than passively waiting out the loan term, he decided to pursue an accelerated payoff plan. His goal was to reduce interest expense, secure stronger equity, and free up cash for his next venture. David's first step was understanding the current landscape. In 2025, inflation remained modestly elevated, employment grew steadily in secondary cities, and property values in his area appreciated by roughly 6% annually. Refinancing for a lower rate was unlikely since rates had climbed. However, recent tax reforms offered enhanced depreciation schedules and increased deductible mortgage interest for investment properties held longer than 5 years. These shifts motivated David to act swiftly to minimize long-term interest costs while optimizing tax benefits. He began by analyzing his cash flows. His duplex generated rent that covered mortgage payments and property expenses, but the surplus each month was minimal. To build extra principal contributions, he renegotiated his property management contract, switching to a platform that used artificial intelligence to automate tenant screening and maintenance scheduling. The new service charged a slightly lower fee but delivered faster turnaround. By trimming management costs by 10%, David freed up several $100s each month, which he earmarked for additional mortgage payments. Next, he examined his rental rates. Leveraging an AI-driven market analytics tool, he found that comparable units in the neighborhood rented for about 5% more than his current rate. He implemented a modest increase of 3%, carefully timing it with lease renewals and offering value-add improvements, fresh paint, new kitchen hardware, and smart thermostats to justify the bump. The upgrades were partly funded through an energy efficiency rebate program introduced in 2025, which offset about 30% of upgrade costs. As a result, rental income rose, netting the property an extra $200 each month. Equipped with improved cash flow, David requested bi-weekly mortgage payments instead of monthly payments. By splitting each monthly installment in half and paying every 2 weeks, he effectively made one extra payment per year. This approach chipped away at his principal faster, reducing total interest obligations over the life of the loan. He combined this tactic with lump sum payments tied to his annual bonus at work. Each December, after consulting with his financial advisor, he directed part of his bonus, always leaving a comfortable emergency cushion, toward the mortgage principal. Digital banking also played a key role. In 2025, many lenders offered mobile apps that calculated the interest savings in real time when making extra payments. David used these tools to visualize that a $500 principal prepayment in January could save him roughly $1,200 in interest over the remaining 27 years of his mortgage. Those clear projections kept him motivated. Over 12 months, these efforts shaved about $2,000 off his outstanding principal. As his equity grew, he considered a strategy known as equity recapture. Rather than locking himself into paying down the entire mortgage, he evaluated whether using the increased equity as collateral to purchase another rental unit would yield a higher risk-adjusted return. After running scenarios, he decided to maintain his accelerated payoff approach because the projected rental yield on his duplex at around 6% after expenses exceeded borrowing costs for a potential new loan, which would have been near 5.5% at that time. In other words, paying down the existing loan faster offered a risk-free return equivalent to the interest rate while avoiding the uncertainties of a new acquisition. Key to David's success was meticulous budgeting. He tracked all income and expenses in cloud-based accounting software, categorizing every dollar. By the end of 2025, he projected that his duplex would be 90% paid off, up from 75% 2 years earlier. This rapid amortization not only provided him with psychological relief, but also improved his cash-on-cash return when calculating his portfolio metrics, since less of his rental income went toward interest and more toward building true equity. While paying off the loan early, David remained mindful of reserve requirements. He maintained a cash reserve equal to 6 months of property expenses to cover vacancies, emergency repairs, or unexpected vacancies. 2025 had seen a spike in severe storms in his region, so having funds readily available protected him from needing to liquidate investments or miss mortgage payments. By December, his plan yielded tangible results. The mortgage servicer's annual statement showed his principal balance had declined more than he ever imagined possible when he first signed the note. He had effectively cut his repayment horizon by about 5 years. Next, he planned to funnel the operational cash flow that had once gone to interest into establishing a townhouse syndicate with 2 friends. Their aim was to capitalize on emerging suburban markets where land was still affordable and rental demand was rising among remote workers seeking space. Ultimately, paying off an investment property early in 2025 required a combination of technology, ingenuity, and disciplined financial management. From leveraging AI platforms for rent optimization to using automated payments, eco upgrades, and data-driven rental increases, David transformed a standard mortgage into a wealth-building engine. His journey shows that even in a higher rate environment, investors can accelerate equity, reduce interest drag, and position themselves to seize new opportunities. By blending traditional methods with 2025 innovations, you too can design a payoff strategy that aligns with your long-term goals and market realities. Thank you for listening to The Property Code. If you found today's episode valuable, subscribe. Until next time, stay strategic and keep building your financial future.